Hey guys, Salwete, welcome back to 6th grade Latin online. I hope you all had a good weekend, and I hope at least some of you enjoyed that uh, talk about Julius Caesar and the Ides of March on Friday. So we'll try to keep getting in some history and culture here and there while we continue to focus on grammar. So today we are jumping back into chapter 7. We're going to do some lectiones. So during this video right now, we are going to do these first three, and then you guys on your own are going to translate number 4, 5, and 6 and enter your translation into the form for today. Technically, I suppose it's not due until tomorrow, but I know some people have trouble accessing or re-accessing the forms after the first time you access them. So it'd probably be good to just do them today. The video that you're listening to right now will not take all of the 50 minutes that we usually have for class time. So hopefully you'll have at least 20 minutes or so to work on 4, 5, and 6 on your own, and I'll give you some hints about that. But follow along now so that with these first three translations so that you're able to practice translating these new third declension nouns. So you're going to want to have your notes or your textbook or something out with these new third declension noun endings. You can pause and copy them there if you want. That's for masculine and feminine. You are also going to want to have access to all these vocabulary words, so if you still haven't written these out, now is the time to do that. Alright, guys, so while I'm going over these, it'd be a great idea for you to write them out yourself on a loose leaf sheet of paper or in your Latin notebook. And then you are going to want to pause as we go. Now, if you want the hardest difficulty setting, you will pause like right now, immediately, without me giving any more hints. But I think it's super reasonable to wait and pause once I have color coded the words, okay? So you can kind of choose your own difficulty in a way, but at the very least, you need to be pausing at some point and working on the translation yourself before I get into the translated answer. It'll mean a lot more to you if you've actually worked on it yourself, and it'll be less boring. I imagine this video would be very boring if you just kind of let me translate for you. So we have to put in a little extra effort to emulate the actual in-class process of working on things, working through things as we go, and having the time to do so. Okay, so this one, the vocabulary is not too bad. We do have plenos, which is this adjective meaning full or abundant, and it often goes with a genitive, as in full of something in the genitive. But other than that, this one is not too bad vocabulary-wise. But here is the color coded version of it, and I have another note about errant. Errant, this is not two R's, this is from sum esse. So this is the third plural imperfect form of sum esse. So we're going to translate it as was or were, kind of depending on what the subject is. And then, yeah, hopefully you guys are getting the hang of the way I'm color coding things. You can see the key down at the bottom. I use red, like bright red, for direct object accusatives. I use green for ablative prepositional phrases. And I use dark red for accusative prepositional phrases. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean for our new prepositions including post and propter that take accusative objects instead of ablatives, those will be in the dark red. Genitives will be in pink, so you can see we have a couple genitives in this sentence. And then when we have indirect objects, they will be blue. Okay, so I've identified that we have two genitive noun phrases and we have a green ablative prepositional phrase. So now is your second to last time to pause, because if you want to see how this gets started off, I'm going to move on ahead, but if you just want to work on it now, you're going to want to pause. But so it's going to start off with Greek literature was, right? This literai Graecae, that can just be Greek literature. It could also be Greek letters, but the context makes me think that they're actually talking about literature as a whole. All right, this is your final chance to pause before I go on to the rest of the translation. All right, and so I'm getting Greek literature was full of many songs and poems, multorum carminum, so it was pleni multorum carminum, full of many poems or songs. Remember, carmen can be songs or poems, and this carminum was genitive, as I said. That's our new third declension genitive ending that just ends in um. About the love of women and heroes, or men, feminarum virorum que. So it's men and women, and those are both in first and second declension genitive plural. So hopefully that one worked out pretty well for you all. I think we're still getting used to seeing the imperfect and future tense versions of sum esse. So errant maybe gave you some pause, but otherwise this was a pretty straightforward one. All right, let's move on to number 2. Dabuntne cross litteros reginae regique. Um, okay, and let me just 1 second. Just gonna jump back to the last slide and show you the that carminum that was genitive plural. That's our new third declension genitive plural endings, as you can see here, right? If we look at the genitive plural side, that is our genitive plural for the third declension. And I'm pulling this chart back up so that we have a little bit of help translating regique. So at the end of this, we have reginae, regique. So regi, unless if you're having difficulty identifying that, it's from rex regis, which means king. And so, what case can both reginae, which is first declension, and regi, with the long I, third declension, what case can both of those things be? Hopefully you are thinking, oh, it's dative. They can both be dative. AE can be a lot of things, but in the third declension, of looking back at this, that long I can only be dative. So it looks like we have a compound indirect object. Literos is our direct object. And the ne at the end of dabunt is telling us this is a question. And dabunt is future tense. It's from do, dare, to give. So this is the bunt cake that they will verb, right? So when we have a question, we're going to start with a certain helping verb. It's the name of one of our students in the 6th grade, guys. Remember that future tense helping verb that we bust out to translate a future tense verb. So this will be your last chance to pause, and now I'm going to move on. All right, so hopefully you got something like tomorrow, will you give letters to the queen and king? So tomorrow doesn't have to be the first word. You can say, will you give letters tomorrow? Will you to give tomorrow letter? That one's a little weird. But yeah, so tomorrow's probably going to be your first word, or it's going to be after your direct object, which is just literos. Yeah, so last time we saw literi, it seemed like it was going to be literature. In this case, it sounds like if we're giving something, maybe we're giving letters to somebody. And so literos is the direct object that we are giving to, the indirect object reginae and regi, queen and king. All right, so that one isn't too bad, but it is a good chance for us to review how to translate questions, especially when questions are in the future tense. When they're in the future tense, we're going to start off with the word will, right? Will you verb? Will you give? All right, final translation we're going to do together, and then you guys are going to work on 3 more solo, and we'll check those on Wednesday. But so we have propter multum laborum, corpora virorum, vestrorum, errant satis sana. Okay, the big thing I think you guys would have trouble with is thinking, what is vestrorum? It's an adjective we haven't seen that much. It's from vester, vestra, vestrum. It means your. So it's the plural, second person, personal adjective. It's basically the plural version of tuus, tua, tuum, which just means your, as in a single use, your. Okay, now we have it's color coded. So it looks like we have an accusative object. Remember, propter takes an accusative as its object on account of so and so. And then we have some genitives, a genitive noun that is modified by a genitive adjective. And then we have errant showing up again, which is, again, the imperfect third person plural. It's going to be was or were. All right, it's your last chance to pause before I go on to the answers. So hopefully you got something like because of or on account of much work or much labor. That's that accusative object or propter. The bodies, corpora, it's the bodies, nominative plural, third declension, neuter ending, of your men were sound enough. So errant was imperfect again, so it's were. And then I'm taking sana first, sound enough. I'm using sound instead of sane here because sana can be sound or sane. And we wouldn't use sane to describe somebody's like physical capability. We would use sound, like of a sound body and sound mind. So I guess they're saying that some people's workers did a lot of work, and so that they got a good workout or something like that. Yeah, virorum vestrorum was just genitive possessive of corpora, so it's not just the bodies; it's the bodies of your men were sound enough. Okay, hopefully these went pretty well for you, but there's definitely a couple things to watch out for in every sentence. All right, you guys are going to work on 4, 5, and 6 in the Google form for today. So you will type in your whole translation of 4, 5, and 6 into the respective part of the form and enter them in. The vocab here isn't too bad. You definitely want to be looking at the new Chapter 7 vocabulary when you do this, and hopefully you have access to the dictionary in the back of your textbook and or Wiktionary.org. But a few words that might stump you. Quare just means therefore, and then it looks like we have some accusative objects. Stultus means foolish. That shows up in number 5. And then in number 6, we have moribus, which is the ablative or dative plural of this new word mos moris, which means custom or habit. So I'm going to show you the color-coded version of this if you want that. But if you want to work on hard mode, you can skip over that. There's just one more part of this video today. I'm going to kind of simulate a little word ball by just flying through very quickly the Chapter 7 words once again. Since even though hopefully you guys have written those out, or even hopefully made flashcards, you still might want to be reviewing them. So here's the color-coded versions of all of these. You can pause on the screen if you want to take notes before you do these on your own. And now we're just going to run through the Chapter 7 vocab. So Carmen Carminis is anyone? Okay, I'm sensing some of you have said it out loud, which is a very good job. It's song or poem, right? We just saw that in number 2, or was it number 1, I guess. So song and poem, good. The only related word is charm. Corpus corporis, we saw that one in the last translation. That one is, well, we got some related words. Corporal, corporation, core, corporate, corporal, means body, okay? What is amor, amoris? We also saw that one as well. So you should be very fresh. This is related to amicus and amo amare. It means love. Okay, mos moris, we just saw that one too. Wow. We get words like moral and morality from this, and it means habit, manner, or custom, or morals as well. Civitas, civitatis. What is this one going to be? We have civilization, civilized, and civilian as related terms. It means exactly citizenship or state. Yep, very good. Pax pacus, we get pacify and pacifist from this. It means, anyone? Peace, very good. So similar to otium. Tempus temporis, we get words like temporary and temporal from this. It means, oh, excellent job, very good. Someone said it. It's time. Good. Vertus virtutis. This one's pretty easy, right? It's one of our 5 blanks, while also being the word for those blanks. Our 5 virtues, right? But specifically, this is courage. So it simultaneously means virtue as a concept, but also specifically the specific virtue of courage. Good. Uxor exoris. This one is kind of hard to remember, but it means anyone. Very good. It means wife. Good job. Nego nakare, nakawi nakatum. This is what a lot of senators did to poor Julius Caesar on the Ides of March. It means this. Okay. And then we did mos moris. Post. What is post? We use post all the time in English to mean exactly what it means in when we're translating it from Latin. It means after, right? And it takes an accusative. So it's joining the accusative preposition club along with propter. And so PM, like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m., means post the middle, after the middle. Post mortem, well, you can put that together. Mors mortis means death, and post-war is any time period after World War II. Posterity is the way something is preserved over time after it, years after it's been created initially. A couple more. This might be the last one. Novus novinum is a new adjective. Nova Scotia means not old Scotland, but new Scotland. All right, guys. I hope those translations for today go well, and I will go over them on Wednesday. All right. Thank you.